Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with David of Flamingo Haze. The band has just released a fantastic new track called I Know. I'm super excited to talk to him all about it. David, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me, Austin. I'm doing really, really well. Excited about the release and excited to get into this.
Yeah, man, you should be ecstatic. It's a fantastic song, as I mentioned before we started recording. I probably listened 5 times today, and it's gotten better with every listen. I want to hop right into it here. I'd love to hear from you. What is the song about? Like, what inspired you making it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, thank you for taking a listen, and I really appreciate
Of
you
course.
enjoying it. Um, so we wrote the song about 2.5 years ago. It
Okay.
was me and a couple other guys from the band, the drummer Daniel, and then the then synth player Mitch. It was about 12:30 at night on a Monday. We would meet all the time on Mondays and songwrite. We were working through some songs at that point, but we just like, hey, let's just work on something completely different, and came up with a progression. And then we all just felt really strongly about this idea of either it's a really powerful message. So it
Hmm.
goes into whether it be some kind of mental health issue, but it also can stretch to abuse, whether it be
Oh,
domestic violence, whether it be a father to a daughter or whatever. Um, so we just wanted to have a message, and the perspective is from the angle from a friend who wishes they could do more. They hear about it all the time, and this is the thing that a friend wishes they could say to help this person through it. Because if you're not going through it, it's hard to really relate, and
sure,
so
sure.
you mostly just have to be there for them.
That makes sense. I mean, wow, I was not expecting that as the message, but no,
Yeah,
it's a lot better than like your classic love song that we've heard a million times. It
yeah,
actually
yeah,
has
yeah,
some meaning behind it, so that's really nice.
yeah. There's a lot. So every song we write, there's a lot of intentionality, and we
Sure.
like to have layers with it. So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just you might get something a little bit lighter, but the inspiration for this one especially was probably the most powerful message we've shared yet.
Wow. Well, even putting the message aside for just a sec, I got to talk about the production on this thing because it sounds fantastic. Like,
Thank
and
you.
a recommendation I'll make to everyone before they listen is listen with a nice pair of headphones because
Yeah,
there's so many subtleties within the song that you might miss out if you're listening like on your phone, your laptop. It's just a killer sounding song. So,
thank you.
did you guys have any outside help putting this together, or is it all done in house? Like, give me the background on that, please.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So we work with a producer down in Florida. So
Nice.
usually when these songs start, pretty much every song you're going to hear that's a Flamingo Haze track, it starts with a sonic production demo, which is
Okay.
me. I come up with it, and then general story and lyrics, and then we kind of flesh it out with the band.
Okay.
But that early synth sound you're hearing with the what, and it's like doing some really cool airy
Yeah,
ethereal things. Yeah,
totally.
that was me working on in production, and I reversed something just randomly, and I was like, okay, whatever, and I isolated it, and I
Mhm.
listened to it, and I'm like, okay, this is special.
This
And
is
so I sent it over
something.
to my producer in Florida, and then he was like, yeah, this has to make it. But most of the production goes from mine to the guy in Florida or
Okay,
my other production team, which is a little closer to Chicago. And then yeah, we go from there. But there's a lot of cool
sweet.
elements that I like the idea of collaboration and letting people come in and let their flair ring. So some cool
Totally.
production elements from everyone.
Yeah, no, for real. I think whoever listens is going to have a great time. I'll just say that. The thing that I struggled with is normally I would do a pretty good job of nailing down, like, oh, this is just like classic indie pop or indie rock or whatever it is. But like, there's a lot of genre influence going on here. Like, you guys really infuse so many different sounds and styles. What is your sort of like elevator pitch of what you would call your music, or maybe this song for someone who hasn't listened before?
Yeah, for this song, I would say that you get a little bit of Bon Iver influence.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
some of that, some of his later stuff, a little bit more. But for this song and for a genre in general, just a genre in general, I'm just gonna say we're indie alt, kind of like electronic, and we kind of live in that area. But for this song, we don't like to be narrowed down by a genre. So for this
Sure.
song was more, it was like singer-songwriter, which is the Boney Bear influence, but super like synth heavy, patch heavy, to where we want to be able to take you on a synthetic, like if you will, a synthetic wave, sonically, to where like you're just like
Totally,
flowing
totally.
through, you know.
Yeah,
So it's something that we definitely worked on this one, and we were like, this one's just different and special. And I feel like when we moving forward, you're just going to keep hearing things like that, to where we're not narrowed down to a specific type. Like each one's just inspired all by itself.
sure.
And hopefully, you know, it's something that you can, if you follow us on social media and anything else is streaming, you'll be able to see that journey with us.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is a pivot point for the band, like going forward, just compared to
Uh,
what you've made in the past?
yeah. So these songs, again, these have been like 2.5 years. So,
Right. So you've
um,
been sitting on it for a little bit.
yeah. And we do believe that All Night Long, the previous single, and then I Know are two very, very special songs.
Okay.
So we're actually working on a new video idea, so this is the first time anyone's heard this outside of the band. So, but we're doing basically a live music video experience of the Slow Cinema, which is going to be the two EPs. It's going to be the entire 8 song list, but a long form music video. So each
Wow.
song is going to have its own individual music video, but all compiled into one massive one. So it's quite the
Yeah, that's time
artistic
intensive.
endeavor.
Oh my goodness. Do you have,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't want to ask too much about it, but do you have like an end date in mind? Or are you just going to take your time with it?
Yeah. So we're hoping the video is done before the end of the year. This
Okay.
is another thing. We just want to make sure it's right. You know?
Absolutely. No, you don't want to rush that type of thing. It sounds
Yeah.
awesome, though. I can't wait to check it out
Yeah. Thank you.
once it
Thank you.
comes out. Now, based on what you guys listen to as a band, I assume that there's input coming in from all sides about what like the vision of the band, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you find that like your personal tastes differ from the music that you're making, or I guess like everyone's personal taste?
That's a good question. So the creative vision is mostly, I cast the most creative vision. I was kind of the founding father, if you will, of the band,
Sure.
but so I have the most creative freedom to kind of do whatever, and everyone just kind of like follows, and they're like, yeah, that's super cool. Um, I loved growing up. Mumford and Sons was a big influence.
Yeah.
I loved just everything about it felt so sincere, you know. Singer songwriter definitely was something I listened to a lot. You know, Noah Gunderson, Ben Howard. The Beatles was a huge influence for me growing up too. Back about 5 years ago, I really got into like Tame Impala, like
Yeah.
M83. Those kind of took me to a different wave, and then like listening to a lot of Kanye growing up too.
Yeah, we have the same
Sample,
music taste.
yeah,
Like, no
sample
joke.
based
Yeah,
writing.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
I used to write with an acoustic,
Mhm.
and that was it. And then I saw that there's a whole new world as far as synthetic, you know, sounds and
Yeah.
soundscapes, and then sampling, to where you can create very special things and really interesting things. And the world is just, I guess, ever since then, I see creating music as really a limitless endeavor, which is awesome. But if I could write exactly what I listen to, I would say that for the most part, I do that already.
Nice.
But I do write some singer songwriter stuff too, because I don't know, just sitting down with an acoustic on a rainy day, you feel inspired all the time, you
I
know?
get it. I get it. That's
Yeah.
awesome, though. So I have to ask, I love the band name, and I hope that there's a story behind it. And if there isn't, it's fine, but what's the deal?
So yeah, the band name originally was actually Mainstay, and so we're like, okay, this is cool, but this doesn't grab me, you know, like this isn't. So we're like, okay, well, we need to find something that is fun, that grabs you, is exciting, and that we're proud to like, you know, be a part of.
Sure.
So literally just spent 2 weeks hard, and we're like, if we can't find a better name in 2 weeks, then we're just Mainstay forever. And my buddy Mitch, who was a synth player too, he was looking at paint swatches one day, and one of them was like Flamingo Dreams or something, and it was like this this
Yeah.
outrageously amazing like pink hue, and I was like,
Right.
oh my gosh, dude, like that's it.
That's
You know?
it. That's it.
That's
We
it.
found it. I love that.
So I was sitting with like 5 other people, and I'm like, Flamingo, 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 what, Flamingo, what? And we all just settled on Haze because I felt like when you listen to our music, it's not really clear cut, right? And so you kind of have to search a little bit and dig a little bit. And so the visual aesthetic of Flamingo Haze, but also the depth and the layers, because you're never just going to be able to pinpoint it. Like you don't know where we're going to go next.
Okay, that's a great story, actually. Not that I don't like, what was it, Mainstay?
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like that, but there's just something very memorable about the name Flamingo Haze. So,
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened that way.
Thank you.
So now that you guys, you're growing this discography, you're being very consistent in your releases. Is there something that you look forward to the most when you're starting a new song?
Oh man. Yeah. Every time, that's probably the hardest part, with songwriting is finishing a song, because like you always want to start new ones.
Right.
The best part about writing a new song, which happens all the time, is just finding that one, either melody, that lyric, that patch, that sound that just like takes you somewhere else.
Yep.
And like you're gone, you don't know what it is about it, but you can't stop thinking about it. And then understanding in that process the magic that's happening, pinpointing the magic, and then getting out of the way and letting it just do its thing. Because I think too many songwriters try to write the song instead of getting out of the way and letting the song reveal itself.
Sure.
You get in the way as a songwriter too many times, and overthinking and trying to write the best line, the one that hits 5 different notes, and you're like, yeah, totally, this guy's gonna think that, but really it's that. It's like, whatever the message is,
sure,
just tell the story and be true to the story and get out of the way. So I think for me, it's always just that one magic moment in the early process that you're like, no, this needs to be written, this needs to go somewhere.
It's a great answer, seriously.
Yeah.
Is there a single most important piece of gear that you guys use? Something that not necessarily defines the band, but you couldn't live without?
Yeah. So in live shows, we use, you'll see people using different monitoring systems. Either they have the wedge up front in the live show. We could not like do what we do at this level, and we're fairly small time right now. But the fact that we have the capacity, the ability, and the resource to run in-ear monitors and have all of us be locked in together, yeah, it's a game changer, because it really helps with our live set to just nail the sound that people are expecting.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that, but I guess that totally makes sense from like we actually need to play together on stage. And
no, totally.
Notes and time, shit like that.
I could say we have a sick guitar amp, if that sounds cooler, but yeah, no, the in-ear monitor system is that's the baby.
Listen, there are no right answers or wrong answers here. They're just answers. I'm happy that you brought up the touring, though. I'd love to know, like, do you guys have any upcoming shows that you'd like to plug, or anything like major going on for the rest of this year?
Yeah, again, we're about to launch a Indiegogo campaign.
Oh, sweet.
For this music video live performance thing.
Got it.
So it's going to be a high budgeted thing. And in order to do it right, which we want to do it right, we're going to have to, ask people to help out. So we're going live with that this week. So if people follow the socials, Flamingo Haze on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever, just be looking out for that. And if you guys like what we're doing, definitely be supportive of that. That would really help and go a long way. We do have a show coming up August 26th. That's in St. Louis, actually. We're in Chicagoland area. But this guy, the booking agent down in St. Louis, he was like, hey, man, I heard you guys. You have to come here, have to play. I'm like, okay. We don't really have too many fans in St. Louis, but you know what? We're coming. So,
I mean, sounds great, kind of. Get out there and tour a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah.
Not necessarily a vacation, but a chance to capture some new fans. Have some fun.
And open the door to a completely different, demographic geographically, which is really huge. So that's August 26th. And then we have a big rooftop show that we're planning, and then there's a bunch of other stuff coming in Chicago soon that I don't have dates for, but we're really, really excited. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds like there's a ton on the way. I'm excited.
Oh
If
yeah.
you ever make it out to LA, hit us up.
I mean, let me
Please.
know. I mean, let me know if you got somewhere for us to play.
Totally. So you've done a pretty good job of like detailing what's going on for the rest of this year. So I'm gonna go one further. I want to know, like, do you have any direct plans for the next year?
Yeah,
Maybe not things that are set in stone, but like some lofty goals that you like to hit.
totally. Yeah, that's a great question. So after the music video campaign, I mean, that's a pretty massive one.
Oh,
I think the next step for us is to rethink exactly how we piece together a show. And instead of you coming to see us play a show, you're coming to experience Flamingo Haze, which we need to pinpoint exactly would make our experience completely different. So we're rethinking the live set, which we're really excited about for next year. We're going to do a lot of really, really cool things with that. And then big time festivals we're getting booked to. I think Blue Rock or Blue. I'm messing the name up.
it's all good.
I'm totally messing the name. It's a festival in Virginia. It's massive. Blue Rock Ridge Fest or something like that. So we got that, and then a bunch of others in Chicago. So I think next year is going to kind of be really the coming out party for Flamingo Haze, as far as showing out and having some big time events. We did just play for like Olivia O'Brien. She plays some stuff, I guess. She's kind of big on TikTok. And then Local H too, which definitely a staple, especially in the Chicagoland area, for some good old alt rock. So it's cool to see the progress, but big things coming that we're really excited about.
Very cool, man. Oh, I'm excited myself. Yep. David, I've got one more question for you.
Awesome.
The question is basically for the person that's going to discover you guys from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Yeah, I would just say, hey, I'm David Klocek with the band Flamingo Haze. We do not just want to make songs and release songs. We want to make something that you hear, you feel, and then something that when you want to say how you feel and you just can't find the words, hopefully we find something that comes close. The experience that you get with Flamingo Haze is a 4 or 5 piece band, depending on the night. And we're going to come at you with some electronics, some fun. It's going to be a good time. But the biggest thing for us is always to keep pushing ourselves, not limiting ourselves, and trying to find more interesting ways to convey the artistic message we have. So if you want to follow Flamingo Haze, just understand we're always trying to push the envelope and always progressing. And it's a fun ride. And I hope it's something that's exciting.
You've convinced me. I'm in. Please let me plug your music for you one more time.
Yeah.
The song is called I Know, but I urge everyone to listen to the rest because it's all great. And we're going to have links that people can, listen and share and follow along and do all that fun stuff. But David, I sincerely want to thank you so much again. This has been great, man. I can't wait to see just everything else that's coming at the end of the year.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for having me, Austin.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to speak soon.
You too, man.
Awesome. Take care. See you later.
Yep. Bye.